Hello, HE Hyde Hornets. This is Mrs. Hopkins.
And this is Miss Gaio.
And today we want to talk to you about how to goal set for the next round of MAP testing. So, you know that the MAP test stands for Measure of Academic Progress. And this is our computer based, skills based assessment that is focused on growth and strengths. We really want to see at least 1 year's growth from all of our students. And the same test is given across the grades, and it's also given across the whole district to tell us how our students are performing.
And when do we take the MAP? Well, we take it 3 times a year. We take it at the beginning of the year, usually in August, but we took it a little later this year due to distance learning. Then we take it again in the winter, and then which will be here in a couple of weeks, on November 30th. And then we take it one more time at the end of the year in June.
So over the course of the year, we want to see every student growing in their RIT score. Now, this next week, your teachers will be sharing with you your student goal setting worksheet. And on this worksheet, it sets a goal for you from fall, which is the test we just took, to the next test, winter 2021. And you can see here that in math, this student scored a 224, and her goal is 228. When we look over here on the right side, you can see areas where the student showed strength, like for example here in measurement and data. And then in yellow are the areas where this student could work on a little bit. And this is showing that in number and operations, this student could do a little more practice on MAP Accelerator, or be doing a little extra work in class, or focusing on their math facts. That would really help that student. Down here in language arts, this student scored a 219, and her goal is 221. And she can look over here to see, wow, she showed some strength in literature and informational text. We're just still working on our vocabulary acquisition and use. And vocabulary was an area where across the school as kind of an area of focus for all of us.
Nice. And here we can see over time after this student took the test in 4th grade and 5th grade and 6th grade, we can kind of see some dips and some little peaks and some dips again, and that's pretty normal. As long as we get to see an overall upward trend, that's kind of what we really want to see in the end. And then moving out of the red and into the orange, into the yellow, the green, and the blue, that's also another goal that we all want to set for ourselves.
In the area of reading, you are tested on 3 different areas of focus: literature, informational, and vocabulary use. We take all of those scores in those areas, and then you get an overall score, right?
Mm-hmm.
And the goal in reading is to hit this yellow band, because if you hit that yellow band in your achievement, you are eligible for reclassification. And that is a goal for our school, to get as many students as possible to show fluency in English and proficiency in English, so that they are ready for middle school and high school and beyond.
Mm-hmm. And here are some awesome test-taking tips, which are things that we do right when we're taking the test, like taking a deep breath and relaxing, making sure that we're reading all of the directions carefully, making sure that we read all of the questions carefully, and then making sure that we understand what the question is being asked. Because some questions are pretty tricky, and some will say, what is not the right answer? So you have to make sure that you look for those tricky questions, and then that you understand what you need to do to answer them. You can also paraphrase the question to help you understand. You can eliminate answers that you know that are wrong. And then you can stop and think carefully every time that you're answering a question. And you can check your work for accuracy, and you always want to do your best. Some strategies for learning are different because this is what you could be doing all this time in between test taking. So this is what we're going to be doing to prepare ourselves for the next math test. So we want to make sure that we are completing our assignments. We want to make sure that we are participating in class by asking questions and thinking. We want to make sure we come to class every day and on time, because if you're not there, you're not learning. We want to make sure that if you need some extra help, you go to your office hours with your teacher. We want to make sure that you are making some time to practice your math facts every day, just a few minutes every day. And you can work on Math Accelerator to get you better with your math skills. You can work on Lexia and iStation for your Spanish reading and your English reading. You also want to make sure that you are reading every day, Hornets. We want a goal of 20 to 30 minutes of reading every day and thinking about what we're reading, making sure that we're reading books that are at our level so that we can understand and grow in our reading. And you want to make sure that you're spending time to work on the things that you know you need to work on. If your report says that you need to improve in vocabulary, then make an effort that whenever you're reading and you see a new vocabulary word, you can write it down and look it up, and you can expand your vocabulary. But lastly, you have to remind yourself, Hornets, you have to believe in yourselves, because Miss Hopkins and I, we believe in you.
We believe in you.
So we want you to believe in yourself and try your best.
So your next steps, Hornets, with all this information, is to do your own goal setting. And we want you to use this form that's linked in the presentation by November 20th. So the first thing you'll do is you'll look at that report that your teacher showed you, and then you'll do some reflecting. Reflecting means looking at yourself back like in a mirror. So we want to do some reflection. You're going to tell us your name, what grade you're in, who your teacher is, and what your score was in reading and in math. And then, did the test show what you know? Sometimes it does, and sometimes it doesn't. Maybe you didn't give it your best effort, and it really didn't show what you knew. So we want to know that.
Yeah, or maybe you had some internet issues and you weren't able to complete the test.
So now here in 2 areas, we'd like you to identify 2 to 3 strategies you are going to use to make sure that you meet your math goal. So in reading, what are 2 things or 3 things that you can do to do better on the test? I want you to write them right here. In math, what are 2 or 3 things that you can do to do better on your math test and reach your goal? And if you need help, you can just choose from some of these strategies on test taking or strategies for learning. After you complete that, you will be invited to a lunchtime hangout with me and Miss Gallo. We're going to have music and time to visit, and we'll also talk about how we can celebrate growth as a whole school, because we want to hear your ideas on how we can celebrate. Remember last year, Hornets, we had pancakes for everyone. We want to think of a creative way to acknowledge your growth.
Yes, we love to hang out with our Hornets.
So that's it for now. Make sure that you set your goals by November 20th. And I can't wait to see you guys.
We are ready to have some fun with you.